Okay, I'm gonna show you. Remainder and division is a white man's mathematical myth. That's true. There's no need to divide or do any of that. Word is born. They've been playing us for a minute, and strategically, the reason it's an advantage of doing their math the way they do it is because they could keep the math in an elite manner in which few people could understand it. Almost like codified sciences. You know what I'm saying? And sciences don't need to be codified. There's no need for that because science is supposed to connect you to reality correctly and not in a detrimental way. You know? So I'm gonna show you the relationship of why, it's no remainders in Kim Pata math. It's no remainders. All we doing is just doing the natural process. The reason they have remainders and all that other garbage is that they really don't understand the math in its essence. I think they just imitate. You know what I'm saying? Just like Europeans imitate black culture and never really don't want to push it to the next level. They just want to keep the mannerism without the accountability, just like the Europeans do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know synergy aside, once an entity don't follow it, it's easy to peep their game from a distance. It could be from miles away or whatever. It's easy because they don't have the law of constant change and development. They don't believe in that. That's why they destroying nature and destroying themselves through self-hate. Let's go. Let's do 9. 9 is supposed to have a remainder, so they say. Let's do 2,456 divided by 9. We're gonna do this real quick. But I'm going to do this a little slow because I want you to absorb some of this. So 9 is a point-by-point division. It's not really division, but it's what you're doing is adding. That's how you do the division. It's kind of weird because everything, we are used to separation of sides. We are used to seeing that 1 equal to 1 and nothing else. And you know damn well, when you set it up Kim-Patali, it doesn't do a Kim-Patali formula. You know what I'm saying? Because any number on the side, even if you have 2, it had to be 2 on the, by their law. That's why I call it the identity crisis. The law of identity crisis. They believe in separation of sides, which is unnatural to separate sides because the magnetite or magnets is one of the most basic things that constantly have a current running through it simply because of the synergy of sides. And the electricity that we receiving doesn't work in the manner, so it runs out, it burns out. So let's go here, point by point, like I was saying. 9 is point by point addition. And we're going to do some horizontal addition too as well. So when you do it, bring down to 2. Because 2 plus 0 is 2. You add the 2 with the 4, which is 6. It's like you're going in a zigzag. But it's point by point because you take this point, which is 2, and a point In this case, is 1. And you add that 2 to 4, that makes 6, right? You add the 6 to the 5, that makes 11, right? And I'm marking the line under the numbers that we must add together in order for us to get the right answer. So we got 11, and 11 plus 6 is 17. And I wrote the number, I put a line under it just to remind us to add those two different parts of the number. This is like north pole, and this is like the south pole. And you know when opposite poles meet, they come together, wham. You know what I'm saying? So we already know 17, so it repeats, because you add 17 to the rest of the zeros after the decimal point. You know what I'm saying? So after the decimal point, all you're doing is adding whatever number to 0, and it happened to be 17. You know what I'm saying? So what we do now is add the numbers. I just put the 1 right there instead of writing the whole 17, so you could really get the whole thing, the whole concept. So what we do right now is write, 7 and 1 is 8. You got another 8 here, and you got another 8 here, and from here, you know what I'm saying, from here, that's 2, right? So we write down 2. And we add the 6 with the 1, that's 7. And you got the 2, right? And you just put the decimal point right here, because that's the tendency of direction. Instead of being 1,000, it goes 1 decimal point in. Boom. Because you're only dividing one number, which is 9. So since you dividing by one number, which is 9 instead of 99, it's only 1 decimal place in. That's what determines it. The number that divides into the number determines where the decimal place is going to be. So the answer is 272.88888 infinitely. You know what I'm saying? That's the answer. So when you cipher, when you nefer, you add it as if it's like a magnet. And it's always good to add from right to left, because some of these numbers might be so big where you have to carry a number to the next, nefering, to the next horizontal adding. Just like regular addition, somewhat. You know what I'm saying? It's a little modification. It's a little bit older too, I think. So that's the answer. So when you do, for instance, we're going to do 55 and show you why 8 doesn't repeat decimal points, because it doesn't reoccur. You know what I'm saying? It's not a point by point, or it's not even a square. And 6 and 3 are squares, whereas 8 is a rectangular. So these numbers don't interface with each other as in 9, 6, and 3. So half, we gonna do this. What's half of 55? Half of 55 is 27.5, right? And since 8 is connected to 2, you divide the half of 55 again. So it becomes 13.75. Now, how I'm going to do it, I'm going to show you the visual why I say what I say. You got 55 and you got 13, right? 13.75. Right? I'm going to show you why it's rectangular. Because first of all, we add in this number up first. Boom. Then you add that. And you know 0.00 be added like this. You know what I'm saying? Look at the visual. So when you add the 5 with the 1, you get 6, right? You add the 5 with the 3, you get 8. And you add the 7 with the 0, that's 7. 5 with the 0, that's 5. So the answer is 6.875. That's the answer. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you get anything like that, you just line it up if you want to make it easier, because not all the time you have to keep it into this form, but this form is always existing because it's in this form now. What gives rise to this particular form is that it originates from the Kim-Ptah formula in the first place. If it didn't move this way, I wouldn't set it up in this way. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even set it up like this if it never moved this way. So that's why I set it up like that. And it's rooted in Kim-Ptah no matter what form I put it in. And this form is just a tool for Kim-Ptah formula, just to show you, just to teach you what multiplication and division and all this mess is all about. I like to do a lot of visual, like the point by point. You see the 9 and other things in that manner.